never listen to the black pillars or doomers online. They're often ops that are trying to demoralize you. We are winning from sea to shining sea, whether it's Japan or Europe or Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, the March for Freedom is very strong. The march against globalism, for nativism, for taking care of your country's native people, the people who are Americans, Japanese, Argentinians, the people who are natively in Europe, not flooding our countries with third world criminal aliens on welfare in order to destroy our nations and usher in communism. Yeah, that's being thrown into the trash. And now you can see it with the president of Argentina, Javier Milei's landslide victory. He's just tripled his power in the beautiful nation of Argentina. State-slashing President Milei wins landslide midterm elections after 2 years of chainsaw austerity and spending cuts. His election, widely seen as a referendum on Milei's past 2 years in office, upstart party, Libertarian Party, scored over 40% of the votes, compared to the 31% for the left-leaning opposition movement. And this has tripled now his power in Argentina's Congress. And how did Javier Milei respond to this? Well, he decided to run through the streets. I kid you not. Running through the streets past his security guards. Goodness gracious. A little dangerous here, right? I wouldn't want to see Trump do this. What a beautiful moment. What an incredible politician. This dude has such sharp instincts. And here he is in Buenos Aires celebrating this victory, ladies and gentlemen. Milei, a key ideological ally of Donald Trump, said his party and allied blocs picked up 14 seats in the Senate, 64 in the lower house in Congress, bolstering the government's support of the legislation and his legislation priorities, enough to uphold presidential vetoes and block impeachment efforts. At the headquarters late on Sunday in Buenos Aires, a beaming Milei hailed the election sweep as a mandate to press forward with spending cuts and introduce ambitious tax and labor reforms. The results also automatically position him as a candidate for re-election in 2027. The Argentinian people have decided to leave behind 100 years of decadence, Milei exalted as his supporters cheered, referring to the succession of governments that brought Argentina into infamy for inflationary spirals and sovereign debt defaults. Today, we passed a turning point. We are beginning the construction of the Great Argentina. High stakes include $40 billion from the United States of America. Perhaps never has the Argentinian legislative election generated so much intense interest from Washington and Wall Street. Trump appeared to condition a $20 billion currency swap with Argentina's central bank as a condition of this victory. And then also, the Argentinian stock market is roaring today. The central bank, an additional $20 billion loan from private banks, good showing of Milei in the national midterms, threatening to rescind assistance, a cash-strapped country, if there were victory by leftists. If he wins, we're staying with him. If he doesn't win, we're gone, Trump says, after welcoming Milei to the White House. Those contentious comments added mounting pressure on Milei, who scrambled to avert a currency crisis, since the left communist opposition won in provincial polls. Argentina's bond and currency nosedived in the markets when they started to say that people were losing patience with Milei's reforms. No, they haven't. And now Argentinian stock market is skyrocketing. President Milei secures a landslide victory in Argentina's midterms. Here it is. He receives a hero's welcome in the bunker after the midnight victory. Another Donald Trump and Scott Bassett win now in Argentina. The perception that the leader has lost Trump support, that a leader has Trump support, is worth millions of votes. Wow. True, actually. Shouts, shout out, massive energy inside of the party. Obviously, there is a big play right now in order to make sure that Argentina has a strong financial relationship with the United States of America. Scott Bessent masterclass. He exchanged more than $2 billion US dollars for crisp Argentinian pesos and has already gained 10% in just a few days. Hey, we made a profit. It wasn't a bailout. All right. There you go. There he goes. Right? Javier Milei should fly to D.C. and give Trump the biggest hug ever. He was going to lose this election due to the bribery scandal involving some nonsense. But Trump and Bessent saved him. I support the bailout. In order for America to dominate in the Western Hemisphere, we must be willing to take extraordinary measures. The beast. Scott Bessent. Donald Trump saying, big win in Argentina for Javier Milei. Wonderful Trump endorsed candidate. He's making us all look good. Congratulations, Javier Milei. There it is. All the good guys back, Javier Milei. Trump and Bessent's $40 billion bet on Javier Milei in Argentina. Javier Milei trend has been gaining steam across Latin America. Several other key coalitions in the next 12 months. Get ready. This is the new Monroe Doctrine. One of the best leaders in the world. Argentina, under his leadership, a strategic ally of the U.S. President Trump congratulating Javier Milei. He had a lot of help from us. Official results. He now has 40% of the votes. Has 24%, 90% counted. Better outcome for Milei than their most optimistic prediction. Doing well. Argentinian markets soar after Javier Milei's midterm victory. Milei thanks President Trump. Yeah, the market's absolutely crushing. Look at this. Boop. Jeez. Like crypto. Trump, I sent him some hats earlier part of this campaign. He called me. He wanted a lot more. I said, when does it stop? When will it stop? We've made a lot of money based on that election because the bonds have gone up. Their whole debt rating has gone up. Scott, go ahead. Maybe we did help. Maybe we helped. Hey, you know what? Make a good bet. Approval rating. Obviously, this is what they do to nationalist and nativist leaders like Javier Milei. They run ops like this. It wasn't true. Thank you very much, President Trump. It wasn't true. Like, the polls aren't true. The polls are lies. Thank you very much, President Trump, for your great friendship and extraordinary gesture. Trump and Bessent's bet on Javier Milei is going to look a lot better in the morning. Ooh. Just look at that. Golden era. They are at the White House. This was the day of Charlie Kirk's Freedom Medal Memorial. And Javier Milei was there. It's very cool. Yeah. Massive win. Massive win. Two dudes clearly love each other. They do. I mean, they clearly like.
Make Argentina great again. Viva la libertad, carajo!
It always makes me laugh, right? And I like, again, I will really respect any president that calls them leftards.
Zurdo de mierda, no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
¿Me podés definir zurdo de mierda? Que no
Todos los que, digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea. A ver,
¿por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda. O sea.
You love to see. You love to see it. It's working. It's worked great. He's winning, and obviously he has a strong ally with the president and so many members of the administration. He has the chainsaw nationalism of cutting government bloat and bureaucracy. And these kind of things do take time and do need time to work. It's been a wonderful thing to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, we are rolling back the clock on globalism, the march of communism around the world. Argentina is a great test case. Japan also. In the UK, the Reform Party is doubling both Labour and Conservative parties in the polls. This is happening all across the globe. It is a beautiful thing to see. Nationalism on the rise. Starting with America first, going global. That's what you should want. Proud nations that reject centralized control by the communists. Yes. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Viva la cara! Or whatever they say in Argentina. Yeah.